All right, ladies and gentlemen, returning to Sensibly Cynical, the wonderful singer-songwriter, of course, Cass Crawford. What's going on?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I had to add wonderful in there,
Yeah. I can be wonderful sometimes. You gotta
Yeah,
get good
sometimes, sometimes.
days.
So how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I've been busy, but like productive busy. You know what I mean? Like not just busy for the
Mm,
sake of being busy, but like good busy. So how about you?
yeah,
How have you been?
I've been good. Just podcasting away. I got a new job, so really can't go too much into it. But I'm driving. I'm driving a lot.
Is
Like
that a good thing? Do we like
I
driving?
mean, it's like it's a weird job where it's like it's boring, but it's also cool.
Yeah.
I drive about, I don't know, 500 miles a month.
Holy,
Sometimes 600.
that's a long way back
It's
and forth.
but it's not like long distance. It's just over and over and over.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's cool. Like
Good.
it beats having no job. So
That's very true, right?
yeah. Yeah. So mistakes.
Yeah.
Talk about what's going on there. What was I heard it was like a little rock feel. So
Yeah, it's a little bit more rock and roll. We've got some big Kelly Clarkson notes in there. And sorry, there's somebody over here that wants to be a part of the interview. My little black cat, he's scooching around trying to get attention.
mm,
But yeah, it's got some Kelly Clarkson notes in there, a little bit more rock and roll. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of I just released it in October, middle of
mm,
October 21st, I think is when it came out. And yeah, it's kind of like an anti-cancel culture, sort of like we should be allowed to make mistakes and not be canceled for it, sort of a
mm.
thing, you know? So I
Yeah,
think
it seems like society's in that thing where everything's like micromanaged. It's like,
yeah, and you're just like demonized instantly and then
yeah,
just
it's like every word is like analyzed crazy.
yeah. So
But it's life is cyclical though, it'll I noticed that too. And I a lot of my family thinks the same way. Like their grandparents, like it's just a cycle. Like it'll go back the other way.
yeah. Yeah, I think it will. I mean, it's one of those things that like something's got to give, right? So
Hmm.
I think we'll get to the point where it's like everything's going to seprate so
Enough's enough.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll all come back together and figure it
It'll
out.
be, yeah, it'll happen. So when did you start like the process for mistakes?
Shortly after we released Save Myself, we kind of
Okay.
already had mistakes in the works. And it was kind of all about a lot of the stuff that was going on in Canada and me kind of being here and watching it. It was kind of just watching, just even some of like my opinions on things. I mean, we've all got our opinions. We're all entitled to those opinions, but that doesn't mean that we have to like cut each other out of lives
Sure.
because we disagree, right? Like I think it's important to surround yourself with people that you agree and disagree with so that they keep you sharp and they keep you they keep your mind open so that you're constantly if you're open-minded, you're constantly being challenged on what you think and the ways that you think
Hmm.
so that potentially your thinking could change for the better, right? So
Hmm.
I mean, but with what was going on up there, I just found that there was a lot of people that were just like leaving each other's lives just because they disagreed on one or two things. And
So this could mean like this open to interpretation, like with
yeah,
relationships or
100%.
family or
Some of them were family for me, some of them were friends. Yeah, yeah,
any sort of ship, huh?
yeah. Any kind of ship, not just like a romantic relationship, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and so that kind of I was talking to my co-writer John Miggs. He actually had the song written for another artist, and it was completely different, lyrically speaking. And he let me listen to it, and he was like, "What do you think about recording this song?" And I was like, "I love the song, but
Hmm.
I would love to put a different message in there." And so we started talking about it. And to be completely honest, I was 100% super afraid to use the word mistakes because I was nervous that it was going to be misconstrued and kind of
Hmm.
like taken like I'm encouraging people to go and like make poor decisions. And what I wanted to accomplish with that, and Dawn was the one that was like, what if we switch making mistakes to a positive connotation and to try and take the negative connotation away, is like it's a good thing to go make mistakes because that's how we learn and we grow and we become better people. And and if you're not making mistakes and you're not out there at least trying, you're not really learning and you're not really moving forward, you're just kind of standing still. So yeah, he kind of like, we talked about that, and then I kind of seeing it from that perspective, it made me more comfortable, and then
Hmm.
we just kind of let the song write itself, and that's what we came up with.
Yeah, and I think too with like the pandemic, depression is
Yeah.
another thing. Like if you make a mistake,
100%.
then you have like more time than usual to just dwell on it. Like I have that problem sometimes where I'll like dwell on a mistake I made,
Yeah.
and it's like I know everyone says you got to move on, but it's easier said than done. After
Yeah.
you screw up.
Right. And like you kind of have to, I mean, I understand the whole depression side of it because that's something that I have bouts with. And I went through a major spiral with it over COVID too. And just kind of one of those things where you slowly have to like, even when you don't have a heart, or when you do have a hard time really letting something go, kind of understanding that that has to come in its own timing too. So just
Mm.
lots and lots of personal growth with some of these tracks that I've been able to write and put out into the world. So I'm hoping it helps people, grow in their own ways and figure out some of their own struggles too. That's kind of my whole purpose with it, and putting out the music that I'm putting out. So
So I know you said that it was already in the process from your last project. So how
yeah.
long how long was that in time? Like did it take you how many recordings?
Well, we generally, I mean, it really just depends. A lot of the tracks that I do, we use a lot of this. Well, for the people that don't know, when you go into a studio and we record the first day, we usually call that a scratch track. And that's kind of what you build the music around. And generally speaking, I put so much emotion into my scratch tracks because we generally record them right after we've written them. So I'm already in the headspace of where we were when we were writing it. And so Save Myself has mostly it's the scratch track, and then Mistakes is also mostly the scratch track. So it was pretty much complete vocally after the first day we wrote it. So
Hmm.
and then we went back in and I did another 5 hours in the studio and just did the layering of the vocals and stuff like that, like all the background vocals. And so I think collectively it took me 2 days in the studio to get that one out, but that was probably over a span of like maybe 2 weeks after we really Saved Myself. It was done right away. So it was one of those ones that just wanted to come out. You know what I mean? Like sometimes songs take you years, and this one did not. This took like once we figured out what we were writing about, it came right out.
Yeah, I saw the you got a lot of views on there.
Yeah.
What's been your like in a non-biased way, of course.
Yeah.
What's been your opinion on like on the reception?
I mean, it feels like it's not, even though the numbers are higher, way higher, it feels like it's not getting as much publicity and press as Save Myself did. And that's okay. I think
That's
like,
refreshing to hear that. Like a lot of
yeah,
people would give me the, fluff answer. I respect that.
no, man, I'm here to be real. I don't think that but there was a few different reasons. I mean, that's a pretty heavy song. And I think it's going to be one of those songs I think that finds people when they're ready to hear it. And I don't think that it's like, and I had to write it
I
when I was
liked it.
right. Yeah.
So
Thank you. I'm glad. And, but I mean, it also might mean something to you 6 months or 6 years down the road, might mean something completely different to you.
yeah,
I,
I'm the type of person that gets in my head a lot. So
yeah,
stuff like that. Like I don't know, like am I weird? I got a question for you. I'm gonna turn it back around.
yeah.
Have you ever heard of something like that happens where like you listen to a song and then that like gets you down for a day or two? Am I weird with that?
No, no, I think it can affect you emotionally I think depending on where you're
Like I
at.
hate the Goo Goo Dolls now. I know they've been around forever, but I listened to Name for like the first time in a while, and that song.
Yeah.
That song really.
So
I need to stop listening to that
it
song
probably connects you to a point in your life, and whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it probably connects you to something that happened when you were listening to it previously.
because
So
it's like
yeah,
so somber.
yeah.
It's
And it
it's.
probably reminds you of a somber time in your life.
Do you
Yeah.
like that song?
That's
Kind
the
of.
I don't know your name, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know
And then
your name.
it goes like real slow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've listened to it in a really long time.
Well, you have to be in a good headspace to listen to it
But
because it brings
I'm,
you.
I'm in a pretty good headspace right now.
It'll like it's sentimental. But
Yeah,
that's the beauty of music though.
yeah,
Like it's not good music. It don't matter what it is. If it makes you feel, that means it's good.
yeah. Agreed.
So
And even
I just gotta get over it. They're
yeah,
not gonna apologize for that.
You'll work through it. You'll figure it out. And I mean, maybe there's something that's coming up that you need to like, you need to heal from still. And that song is triggering that. Who knows? Maybe there's
Yeah.
something there.
I don't know, but
Explore it. You should explore it.
I'm doing okay. Uh, so I know you're Canadian, right?
I am, yeah.
So I don't think we talked about sports last time, did we?
Go sports.
No, you're not.
No.
Oh, well, I was gonna say Canadian because you can guess the sport I'm gonna bring up.
Hockey. I know nothing about sports. I'm just as a
Nothing about
disclaimer.
hockey.
I mean, I know a little bit about hockey, but
I
I
mean,
don't
how can you know, like?
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and give a
Oh,
wrong.
so you're gonna plead the, you know.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. Okay, go ahead. Let me see if I know the answer to it.
No. I was gonna say, like, what's your thoughts on all the like on the hockey craze? It seems like it's never ending up there.
Oh,
Like,
what's the way of life up there?
if not you, but you know, friends and family that just live and die by it.
Oh yeah, my nephews all play hockey, and it's like they're at practice at 5 a.m. And yeah, it's hockey is a way of life in Canada, especially like once pre-winter hits, which is like my parents' place is covered in snow right now, but I would say probably I think they start hockey, and I don't want to get this wrong, but I would say September. And I know there's like summer camps and all kinds of stuff. Like
Mhm.
hockey is a way of
So,
life.
so you're one of those people that just find sports boring, or
No, I think that I love going to games. I love actually like I go to Preds games. I've gone to Titans games, and I sang the anthem
well,
at the
that's
Town
yeah,
game,
football, yeah.
and baseball and stuff like that. I absolutely love going to games. I just usually don't have any idea what's going on, and
Put your time somewhere else that's you feel is more meaningful to you.
I mean, I just have always loved music. I love, like I said, I love going to games. I love the hype, and I love the
Well,
crazy
some people,
happens. But
yeah, some people say, well, I can't impact the score anyway, so I'm just
yeah,
gonna, you know,
yeah, I'm not the type of person that would have like the game on in the background while I'm like, or sitting down and watching the game. I'm just not that diehard. And I totally respect people that are, because sports is like a whole religion. You know what I mean? Especially football in the
it's
South. My,
it's kind of crazy, and people
yeah,
and the people that live by it can't even change the score if they wanted to.
I know. I know it doesn't, it's crazy. It's
But
crazy to me, but
it's like movies too, though. You can say that about anything.
yeah, I mean, whatever you're into, I think as long as I do think that with athletics, the camaraderie that it brings around
Yeah,
is really, really, really cool to watch. Like people who absolutely hate each other, if they find out they love the same team, it'll bring them together for some weird reason. And they
that's
just,
true. And it's like I live in well, I live in the Panhandle of Florida, down in
yeah,
Florida, like near Alabama,
yeah,
and there'll be like a group of like that's the thing about technology now and like Facebook and stuff. Like you can meet people that went to your same college.
yeah,
Like back in the day, like I know it sounds like back in my day, but but like there was no like application for you to meet people that weren't in your circle.
yeah,
Now you can meet up with people that went to the same school as you
yeah.
and
I
have a
know.
beer and what, you know, it's not about the sports that's on.
Yeah,
It's about meeting people that had something in common, you know.
yeah, 100%. And I get it. I mean, I didn't have my first email address until 12th grade. So
Was it AOL?
no, we didn't have AOL in Canada. That's America Online.
Wait, you didn't have AOL? Oh yeah,
Uh,
America. Yeah, I
yeah,
got it now. I got it
yeah,
now. Yahoo. Did you have Yahoo up there?
Yahoo, yeah.
I
We
just
did.
put two and two together. Like you don't think that AOL stands for like American unless you unless you think about it
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
It's
We
like,
also, yeah, it's crazy because we didn't have like the chat, whatever it was, the AOL chat.
oh man, there was like, yeah, we could get non-PG real quick with the stuff that was on there.
We didn't have a lot of that stuff, and we didn't have well, I mean, even still in Canada, like Canada doesn't have Hulu, and Canada doesn't have Pandora and stuff like that. So
Wait. No, not Pandora. Then what do they have?
we have different like Canadian versions of those things. Like we have an app, like a streaming app for television that's called Crave, and it basically has
Mm-hmm.
the same stuff that Hulu has, but you can't get Hulu in Canada. Pandora, I'm not entirely sure what the Canadian equivalent with that would be for that, but we also just
A streaming service. There you go.
yeah,
There's your answer. There's your
we
answer.
just got Spotify not too long ago.
Really? Oh, that's huge. Breaking
Um,
news.
yeah, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe a little bit
Wow.
longer. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
So I think I sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's like a whole different system for them to bring that application up to a different country where there's different legal rules and
Mm-hmm.
copyright infringements and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just like it takes a little bit longer for it to finally get up there. And I think in that time, Canada can figure out how to Canada's whoever builds those apps
Mm-hmm.
figures out a way to get a Canadian version of something similar going, and then it's just kind of the other ones fizzle out. So I think that's why we never got Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I think we talked about this last time, but because I was curious, how did you make the transition from like how did Canada and Nashville? We talked about that, right?
the
But
like the difference.
yeah, no, but like how did you get involved with some like the scene in Nashville from Canada? Did we talk about that?
Vaguely, I think maybe I didn't really
But for those like me that need
need a
a
refresh.
yeah. The person that hosted the podcast need
I
to
I think it just kind of happened organically. I was, let me see, I had moved here and stayed with a friend, and then I went to a karaoke bar right downtown, and I got up and sang a couple of songs, got offered a job, and then like hosting the karaoke, and then I just was singing there a couple of nights a week, and different artists, because I mean it was right downtown, so a lot of the artists that circle the downtown area had to walk past where I was singing and would hear me singing. And I ended up singing with a guy named Bobby Tomlinson, who then introduced me to Ross, and I covered a couple of Ross's gigs that he needed like a substitute singer for, because the girl that he was normally singing
Ross
with
Flora,
sick.
for those that
Yeah, Ross Flora.
the last episode that was
Yeah.
released 2 days ago or
So
something.
yeah, so Ross and I ended up playing together a lot downtown, and then it's just kind of like word of mouth, I guess, just because I sound pretty different comparatively speaking to what a lot of the girls sound like. We've got a lot of like Miranda-ish style voices, whereas mine is big and boomy and just kind of, you can hear me walking down the street. So there's that middle child syndrome that kicks in that like just floats down Broadway. So you can hear me a little bit. But yeah, and then I think just I was able to kind of create a name for myself and a good reputation. I definitely pride myself on good business ethics and making sure I, do a good job and keep butts in the seats and move people so that they want to come back.
There
And
you go.
yeah, and I mean, I've been here since 2016 now, and I've got a pretty decent following of people that will literally come and see me every single time they come in town.
Mm.
So, and they'll sit there for 4 hours and watch me sing, which is like a crazy compliment. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So let's talk about mistakes again.
yeah.
Um, we talked about the meeting and stuff, but if people take nothing else, what's the one thing that you want people to take away from that song? Those that listen to it for the first time.
That mistakes are something you should be making so that you can grow and learn to be a better person. And that you understand that there is a silver lining in each mistake if you look for it, but you have to look for it. You can't just be like, oh, well, that was a mistake. You have to like, it's like, you can't stick your hand on a hot element on the stove twice. You know what I mean? Like the first time you make that mistake and you go, oh, it's hot, registers in the brain, you're not going to do it again, right? Because you know that there's a painful consequence there. And that can be said for any kind of emotional mistake that we make as well. That like, if you make that mistake and you realize you've caused yourself emotional pain, take responsibility for that, find the silver lining and the learning in it, and then turn around and make that mistake work for you. Therefore, it's not a mistake. It's a growing opportunity and a learning experience. So that's what I want people to take from it, is that mistakes are how we learn.
Yeah, life would be boring if everyone just
Yeah.
like didn't take risks.
Yeah, absolutely. Mistakes and risks are basically the same thing. I don't think there is such thing as an actual mistake if you learn from it. I think then it's just an opportunity for growth, really. So
Cash, what's next for you? Like, you got something else in the
ooh,
works?
I have a few fun tricks up my sleeve. Nothing that I can really like say out
Oh
loud.
come,
Nothing
on,
well, I'm working with a few different people now.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I've got another song coming out probably in the new year. That's written with Don Miggs and John Lizzie. I just learned how to say his last name properly the other day, and
Something,
Lucy.
Lucy.
Um,
Whatever it is.
Yeah, they're the guys that I wrote Save Myself with. So I've got another track coming out with them. I'm probably going to release one of my favorite covers
Mm.
as long as I get the go ahead from the artist, which I'm still working on.
Well, yeah, that's important, you know.
Yeah, you can't just like throw your own business. So.
Copyright infringement.
Exactly. So as long as I get the go ahead from the artist, then I'm wanting to release a cover probably in the spring. And then yeah, I'm potentially working with a few other people. There's a couple more people in my camp now, and I got to kind of keep that where it is. But
Hey, I didn't
there's
mean to
some cool
cause,
stuff. No,
disclosure clauses to be, you know.
no, it's all good. There's a few things that I can't say because there's nothing done yet. So once things are done and moving forward, then I
I
can.
tried. I
I know
tried.
you did.
I
It was a
failed.
valiant
I
effort.
failed a miserable death.
Well, I mean, other than that, I'm kind of taking some time to do a little bit of traveling for myself this year too. Well, technically next year, I guess, but Hawaii's been a place I've always wanted to go, and
Oh, aloha. That's all I know.
yeah,
That's all I know.
I've always wanted to go. Never had anyone to go with, and I just was like, so I'm going doing a little solo trip in February.
You
So
gonna you gonna you gonna surf?
I don't know yet. I know that I want to do a lot of like the
I
local
mean, that's
cultural.
technically a sport. So I'm just kidding. It
Right,
is. It is.
right.
It's in the Olympics.
I don't know.
Anything that's in the
You think
Olympics,
I
I
put this
think.
hair in the ocean? Come on. No, I mean, I would like to try.
Yeah. Or
I
bodyboard, body surf.
yeah, like whatever it's boogie boarding, bodyboarding,
You
or
know
whatever it's
what?
called.
You know what's really fun?
What's that?
Paddleboarding.
Yeah, I'd like to do that too. There's a few different things that I want to try. I mean, paddleboarding's pretty popular in Vancouver, which is where I'm from. I never got the chance to like get up and try it though. There's a few things that I want to do. Hawaii is definitely like a place that I want to try and be an adventurous version of myself. And like I want to climb all the way up and get up to the volcanoes that are up there and go see those. And I really want to see if I can I don't really want to do the super touristy things. I want to do like the local cultural things like
Right,
that
right,
kind
right.
of
Like
vibe.
try the food and
Yeah, but not even just even more so than that. I want to like learn about Polynesian culture, and I want to like I mean, I grew up in a community that was predominantly indigenous, and I find that stuff kind of like I find cultural um rituals and traditions and stuff like that just super interesting and super
mm,
it's a really cool thing to take some of those that fit and that feel like they resonate with my spirit and involve them in my life. And I think
right.
the Polynesian communities have and Samoan communities, I think it's Polynesian. Um,
Yeah,
I just
close
want to,
enough. Close enough.
yeah, I want to kind of learn some of their cultural rituals and their traditions and
Mm,
just kind of why those came about and where they come from and the history of it all. And I'm not really going to just like lay on the beach the whole time. I mean, there will definitely be some of that, but I'm wanting to really learn about Hawaii and Hawaiian people and what they do and how they do it and why they do it and all of that kind of stuff. So
mm.
that's more my jam.
So what's your last question?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on like the current state of like country and then, because every time, I hear country, people talk about country, it's this I asked Ross this, like old country versus new country.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Taylor Swift, who totally
Is
went
a pop
away.
artist now. Yeah.
Are you a
A
what's her
Swiftie?
friend? What's her
Well, some
people
Swifties,
called?
I think. Swifties. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's Tay Tay, T Swizzle.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
don't.
no, you're not a fan?
I'm a huge fan.
Oh, you are a fan. Oh, you said
Yeah.
no, like,
No, I
oh.
mean, I don't know like all of her. I'm not like a fan of like the Taylor Swift culture and the pop culture community
Hmm.
that she has. What I'm a fan of is how she basically is just keeps blowing everybody out of the water and kind of does whatever she wants. And
Yeah,
she's
because all
become
10
a really,
songs, first time ever, all 10
yeah.
songs were the top 10. That's
And
crazy.
she has become a really wonderful songwriter. And
Yeah.
she just like calls everybody out. I love it. I think
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit, you know?
no, and she doesn't, and she makes so much money that like she doesn't have to, but I just think it's really cool how her progression and how you've seen her grow. And she has gone from country to pop and has been unapologetic about that and has shared her personal experiences. And I don't know, man, I think she's like, again, even if I didn't like Taylor Swift's music and her as an artist, I still can appreciate the way that she's grown her
Hmm.
her abilities and her talent and stuff. So, but I mean, I'm a sucker for a lot of her songs. They're super catchy and they're super fun, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's like hit that EDM bug too, like with that
yeah,
lavender one.
yeah.
It's like,
There's a lot of good songs on the new record. I still think my favorite record is 18 or 1989 from her,
mhm.
but this one's got a lot of good songs on it too, for sure.
My personal favorite is what's that? We are never ever ever ever
Getting back
ever
together.
ever
Yeah.
ever getting ever back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one when I came out, it was like in my head for like 100 times. I'm like, we are never ever 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 ever. I'm like, how many times are you gonna say ever?
I know, but that's the whole point though, is it gets stuck in your head and then it's there and you're just like, damn it, singing it all the time, which
Yeah.
you then have to go stream it because it's stuck in your head. So smart.
All right.
Yeah.
Cash, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're always a blast, and
Uh,
I always enjoy talking to you.
well, right back at you. Thanks again for having me again.
And where can people find mistakes?
Yeah. Easiest place, go to cashcrawford.com. It'll connect you to any of your streaming platforms. And I mean, you can also just go to like Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your streaming stuff. Search my name. Mistakes is there. Save Myself's there. I've got a couple other little nuggets there too. And there'll be more to come. So,
And social media
yep.
handles?
Cash Crawford, all pretty much right across the
Pretty.
board. Pretty much right across the board. Just all my
Yeah,
name.
that's like the easiest handles I've heard in a while on the
Yeah.
podcast. So, short and to the point.
Yep. I don't need to be, I'm not like unicorns and pups or anything like that. I'm just straight up my name. Pretty boring.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming on the podcast,
Yeah.
and all the best. Okay.
Thanks. You too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.